I swear I almost lost my job before I even made it to dessert. Okay, I need you to understand something first. I am not the kind of guy dramatic things happen to. I work a normal job. I live in a normal apartment. My biggest weekly thrill is finding out the office ordered tacos instead of sandwiches. That is my life. Calm, predictable, safe. Until last Thursday. I work at a tech startup in Austin called Apex Solutions. It is one of those places where everyone says words like growth strategy and quarterly targets like their lives depend on it. I am a junior marketing analyst. That sounds important, but it mostly means I build slides and hope nobody asks me questions I cannot answer in meetings. My boss is Victoria Chen, CEO, founder, legend. Terrifying human being. She is in her 40s, always perfectly dressed, and she has this way of looking at you that makes you feel like she can see every mistake you have ever made in your entire life. When she walks into a room, people stop talking mid-sentence. When she sends an email, everyone answers in under 3 minutes. She built Apex from nothing, and she runs it like a general runs an army. Everyone calls her Miss Chen to her face. Behind her back, it is Victoria. Never Vicky. Nobody is that brave. So last Thursday, I am sitting at my desk eating leftover pizza that has definitely been in the office fridge too long. I am halfway through a slide deck that makes no sense when suddenly I feel someone standing next to me. I look up. It is her. "Jordan," she says. "That is me. Jordan Matthews. 26 years old. Very average. Very unprepared for whatever is about to happen." "Yes, Miss Chen," I say, and my voice cracks just a little. Immediately, my brain starts racing. Did I mess up a report? Did I send something to the wrong client? Am I fired? I just signed a new lease. I cannot be fired. You are single, correct? I almost choke on my pizza. Yes. Good, she says calmly. My daughter needs a date. For a full 5 seconds, I cannot process what she just said. I just stare at her. She stares back like she just asked me to update a spreadsheet. What? She pulls the empty chair next to my desk and sits down. She never sits in employee chairs. Ever. The entire office feels like it is holding its breath. My daughter Sage is 25, she says. Cornell graduate. Works in environmental law. Very driven. Too driven. Her grandmother keeps asking when she is going to meet someone. I am tired of the phone calls. I am nodding, but nothing in my brain is connecting. Sage. Her daughter's name is Sage. That is a beautiful name. Why am I thinking about that? Focus, Jordan. I have observed you for 8 months, she continues. You are respectful. You do not gossip. You stayed late to help Rebecca from accounting last month with the database issue. My stomach drops. She saw that? I thought I was alone that night. Saturday, 7 pages M. New Italian restaurant downtown called Morello's. You will meet Sage there. Dinner. Conversation. That is all. My mouth feels dry. Miss Chen. I am really flattered, but is this appropriate? She raises one eyebrow. I am not ordering you, Jordan. I am asking. You may say no. There will be 0 professional consequences. She sounds sincere. That almost makes it worse. Can I think about it? You have until end of business today. Then she stands up and walks away like she did not just completely flip my life upside down. I spend the next 4 hours spiraling. I text my roommate Derek. He thinks it is the funniest thing that has ever happened. I almost call my mom, but I cannot even imagine explaining this over the phone. Pros. Free dinner. Meeting someone new. The CEO thinks I am decent enough to date her daughter. Cons. Every possible way this could destroy my career. At 4:58 p.m. I walk to her office. My hands are sweating. Her assistant gives me a look like she knows exactly why I am there. I knock. Come in. Her office has floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking downtown Austin. She is standing by the window. I will do it, I say before I can change my mind. For just a second, her expression softens. Then, It is gone. Good. Just be yourself, Jordan. That line stays with me. Saturday night, I am a complete mess. I change shirts 3 times, spill coffee on my jeans. Derek keeps making jokes about meeting my future mother-in-law at the next board meeting. I get to Morello's early because being late feels like career suicide. The place is dim and romantic, candles on every table, soft music playing. I am checking my phone every 30 seconds when I see her walk in, and that is the moment I realize I am in serious trouble. She is wearing a simple dark green dress, but somehow it looks perfect on her. Her hair is long and slightly messy in a way that feels natural. She laughs at something the host says, and I swear my heart actually skips. She turns toward my table. Our eyes meet. I stand up so fast I almost knock over my water. "Jordan," she asks. "Yeah. Hi. You must be Sage." "Unfortunately," she says with a small smile. "I am really sorry about this. My mom means well, but her methods are questionable." We both sit down. The awkwardness is real, but somehow it is also kind of funny. "She told you?" I ask. "Oh yeah. I almost died when she said she set me up with one of her employees." We both laugh, and something in my chest loosens. Dinner starts awkward, but then it gets easier. She talks about her job fighting companies that pollute lakes. Her whole face lights up when she explains why she cares. I tell her about my job and how I make slides look important even when they are not. "Do you like it?" she asks. "It is fine," I say. "Not my dream, but it pays the bills." "I like what I do," she says, "even when it is hard." And as she talks, I realize something terrifying. I really like her. Not just because she is beautiful, but because she is real, smart, passionate, funny in a quiet way. Dinner flies by. We are sharing tiramisu when my phone buzzes. It is a text from Victoria. "How is it going?" I show Sage. She rolls her eyes. I text back. "Going well." Sage is great. The reply comes instantly. "Good. There is something you should know." My stomach tightens. Then another message comes in. This was also a test for a potential promotion. "Senior analyst position. You passed. We will discuss Monday." I read it out loud without thinking. Sage's face goes pale. "She what?" Suddenly, the entire night shifts. The laughter disappears. The warmth disappears. "Tell me this was not some kind of corporate evaluation," she says. Standing up so fast her chair scrapes loudly. "I did not know, I swear. I just wanted dinner with you." Her phone rings. It is her mom. She answers, angry at first. Then her expression changes. "What? When? Is she okay?" She hangs up and looks at me, torn. "Family emergency. My grandmother. I have to go to the hospital. Do you need a ride?" "No, I just need to go." She looks at me one last time. "I am sorry, Jordan. Tonight was actually nice." Then she is gone. And I am left standing there with half a dessert, a promotion text, and the sinking feeling that the best connection I have felt in years just got destroyed by my own boss. I do not think I slept that night. I got home around 10, threw my jacket on the couch, and just stood there in the middle of the living room like my brain had shut down. Derek was out with his girlfriend, so I was alone. And being alone with your thoughts after something like that is not great. I kept replaying everything. The way Sage laughed when I told her my presentations were 90% confidence and 10% actual data. The way she leaned forward when she talked about protecting lakes near Dallas. The way her face changed when I read that stupid text out loud. This was also a test for a potential promotion. I read it again on my phone. I felt sick. Had I been evaluated the whole time? Did she think I agreed to dinner just to get promoted? Did I even deserve the promotion now, or was it all connected somehow? I tossed my phone on the coffee table. 2 seconds later it buzzed. Unknown number. My heart started pounding again. "Hey, it is Sage. Got your number from my mom's assistant. Is that creepy?" I stared at the screen like it might disappear. I typed back immediately. Not creepy. How is your grandmother? The typing dots showed up, then disappeared, then showed up again. False alarm, she wrote. She had chest pain, but it turned out to be really bad heartburn. They are keeping her overnight just to be safe, but she is already complaining about hospital food. So I think she will survive. I let out a breath I did not realize I was holding. That is good. I mean, not good that she had heartburn, but good that she is okay. Yeah, there was a pause. Listen, about tonight. There it was. The goodbye text. The "you are nice but this is too messy" text. I am really sorry I ran out like that. The promotion thing freaked me out. I should not have assumed you knew. Relief washed over me so fast I had to sit down. I swear I had no idea I typed. She never mentioned work. She just asked if I would have dinner with you. I believe you, she wrote back. My chest felt lighter. My mom has a habit of controlling situations without telling people the full story. It is kind of her thing. So what does that mean for us? I typed, then deleted it. Too direct. I had a really good time tonight, she sent before I could overthink. Me too. Best blind date I have ever been on. Have you been on a lot? She asked. First one, I admitted. Mine too. There was a small pause again. Then, are you free tomorrow, Sunday afternoon? I sat up straighter on the couch. Yeah, I am free. There is a farmer's market on South Congress. Lots of people. Very public. Very not arranged by my mother. I laughed out loud in my empty apartment. That sounds perfect. 2 pages, Em, she wrote. I will be there. And Jordan. Yeah? Do not tell my mom. Your secret is safe with me. I woke up Sunday feeling like I had a job interview and a final exam at the same time. Derek sat at the kitchen counter eating cereal straight from the box. You are insane, he said. Dating your CEO's daughter? That is like lighting a match in a fireworks factory. Thanks for the support. I am just saying, if it goes bad, you still have to see her mom every day. I grabbed my keys. I am leaving. I got to the farmer's market 15 minutes early because apparently I do not know how to act normal. It was hot, crowded, full of music, and people carrying tote bags filled with vegetables that cost too much. I was standing near a booth selling handmade soap when I saw her. Jeans. White t-shirt. Sunglasses. Hair tied back in a loose ponytail. She looked different from last night. Less formal. More relaxed. More real. Hey, she said, walking up to me. Hey. We just stood there smiling for a second like 2 awkward teenagers. So this is weird, she said. Very weird. Want to walk around and pretend it is not? Absolutely. We started moving through the crowd. It was easier this time. No candles. No fancy plates. No CEO hovering in the background. We tried free samples of salsa. She bought 3 jars, even though we only tasted 1. We laughed at terrible paintings of the Austin skyline. She told me her grandmother has a history of dramatic medical scares whenever she feels ignored. Wait, so last night was not even that serious? I asked. The chest pain was real. She just might have caused it by eating an entire bag of hot Cheetos. I stared at her. That is impressive. That is one word for it. We ended up sitting on a bench sharing a bag of kettle corn. Music played somewhere nearby. The sun hit her face, and for a second I forgot how to breathe. Can I ask you something? She said. Yeah. Are you going to take the promotion? There it was. I looked down at the kettle corn in my hands. I do not know. Part of me wants to. It is a big opportunity. But part of me feels like accepting it means letting your mom control everything. Sage nodded slowly. For what it is worth, I do not think she meant it as a bribe. In her mind, she probably thought she was solving 2 problems at once, my love life and your career. Classic Victoria efficiency. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Not really. She turned toward me. But here is the thing, I actually like you. My brain froze. You like me? Do not make me repeat it. I grinned like an idiot. I like you too. A lot. "So what do we do about that?" she asked softly. "I think we keep going, even if it is complicated." She moved a little closer, close enough that I could smell her perfume. Light. Clean. Right when I thought she might kiss me, her phone rang. We both looked at the screen. "Victoria, do not answer it," I said. "I have to. She will keep calling." She put it on speaker. "Where are you?" Victoria's voice asked. "Out." "Are you with Jordan?" Sage looked at me. "Maybe. You both need to come to my house right now." We both frowned. "Why?" Sage asked. "This is serious. I need to explain something about last night. It cannot wait." Her voice sounded different, not controlled, not sharp, worried. We looked at each other. "Well," Sage said slowly, "I guess we are about to find out what this is really about." And suddenly, our simple Sunday afternoon felt like the calm before another storm. The drive to Victoria's house felt longer than it should have. I followed Sage's car through one of those neighborhoods where every lawn looks perfect and every house looks like it belongs in a magazine. My Toyota felt like it was personally embarrassed to be there. When we parked, Sage waited for me on the sidewalk. "Whatever happens in there, just remember my mom is dramatic about everything," she said. "That is not comforting." "Yeah, I know." Before we could knock, the front door opened. Victoria stood there in jeans and a simple sweater. I had never seen her in anything that was not a power suit. She looked different, tired, almost nervous. "Come in, both of you." We stepped inside. The house was huge but quiet. No staff running around, no noise, just soft light coming through tall windows. She led us into the living room. There was coffee and pastries on the table like this was some kind of strange business meeting. "Sit." Sage sat on one end of the couch. I sat on the other like we were trying to act casual. Victoria took the chair across from us. She took a deep breath. "I owe you both an apology." Sage blinked. "I am sorry, what?" "The text I sent Jordan last night about the promotion. That was a mistake." Sage leaned forward. "Mom, you told him the date was a test for a promotion. Do you understand how that sounds?" "I do," Victoria said quietly. "And I handled it badly. I cleared my throat. I am just confused. Was it a test or not?" Victoria looked at me directly. "No. The promotion is real. It was decided Thursday morning based on your performance over the last year. You earned it. The dinner with Sage had nothing to do with it." My brain struggled to catch up. "Then why send that text?" Sage asked. Victoria looked down at her hands for a second. That alone shocked me. I had never seen her unsure of anything. "Because I panicked." Sage stared at her. "You panicked?" "I drove past the restaurant last night," Victoria continued. "I saw you both through the window. You were laughing. It looked natural. It looked good. And suddenly I realized I might have overstepped. That maybe when you both figured out I arranged it, you would resent each other. So you sent the promotion text to fix that?" I asked. I thought if Jordan knew the promotion was already his, he would relax. I did not think about how it would look. I did not think about how it would make it seem like I was using my daughter as some kind of evaluation tool. Silence filled the room. "Why did you set us up at all?" I asked carefully. Victoria's expression softened in a way I had never seen at the office. "Because Sage came home for Christmas and spent the entire week working. She did not see friends. She did not go out. She barely slept. It reminded me of myself when I was building this company. I lost years of my life chasing success and ignoring everything else." She turned to her daughter. "You are brilliant, driven, focused. But I do not want you waking up one day realizing you forgot to live." Sage's eyes filled with tears. "Mom." Victoria looked back at me. "And I have watched you, Jordan. You are kind. You help people when no one is looking. You do your work without trying to impress anyone. When Sage once told me she wanted someone genuine, I thought of you." Sage's head snapped toward her mom. "I said that one time." Victoria smiled slightly. It was enough. The room felt different now. Less tense. More honest. "So you were trying to be a matchmaker," Sage said slowly. A very bad one, apparently. I could not help it. I laughed a little. For what it is worth, I said, dinner was actually great. Until the text. Sage nodded. It really was. Victoria stood up. The promotion stands, Jordan. Whether you date my daughter or never see her again. It has nothing to do with this. And Sage, if you want to see him, then see him. If you do not, that is your choice. I will not interfere again. She paused at the doorway. I am better at business strategy than I am at relationships, clearly. Then she left the room. Sage and I sat there in silence for a moment. Well, I said quietly, your mom is intense. That is the polite word. She moved a little closer to me on the couch. Do you believe her? She asked. Yeah, I do. Me too. She looked at me in a way that made my chest tighten. So, what do we do now? I took a breath. I am taking the promotion. I worked hard for it. And I am not going to pretend I did not. Good, she said with a small smile, and I would really like to keep seeing you, if you are okay with that. Even though my mom is your boss, even though that. She studied my face for a second, like she was making a final decision. Then she leaned in and kissed me. It was soft and slow, and nothing like the chaos of the last 24 hours. For a moment, there was no promotion. No CEO. No pressure. Just her. When we pulled back, she was smiling. So we are really doing this? I think we are. You know this is going to be messy, right? She said. Probably. And everyone at your office will eventually know. Definitely, she laughed. You sure about this, Jordan Matthews? I shook my head honestly. No, but I want to try anyway. She kissed me again, and this time I did not think about consequences at all. We stayed there another hour talking. It felt almost normal, like two people getting to know each other without the world watching. When we finally left, Victoria was standing by the window in her office upstairs. She did not wave. She just nodded once. It felt like approval. On Monday morning, I walked into Apex and tried to act normal. Around 10, I got the official email. Promotion to Senior Marketing Analyst. It was real. People congratulated me. Rebecca from accounting hugged me. Brenda gave me a knowing smile that made me wonder how much she knew. And around noon, my phone buzzed. Sage. My grandmother is eating hot Cheetos again. She is planning her next emergency. I laughed out loud at my desk. Things felt strange but good, like the start of something unexpected. I just did not realize how complicated it was about to get. The first week after everything felt almost normal. Almost. At work, nothing changed on the surface. I still had deadlines, still had meetings where people used words like growth funnel and engagement strategy. The only difference was the word senior in front of my title. But under the surface, everything felt different. Every time Victoria walked past my desk, I wondered if people could see it written on my face, dating the CEO's daughter. It sounded ridiculous, even in my own head. She never treated me differently. Not once. In meetings, she challenged my ideas like she always had. If anything, she pushed me harder, which I appreciated. Outside of work, though, things were good. Really good. Sage and I went on our third date Wednesday night, a movie theater downtown. We sat in the back row, shared popcorn, and held hands in the dark like normal people. No candlelight, no surprise text messages, no dramatic exits. Just us. On Thursday, she came over to my apartment for the first time. Derek nearly fainted when he opened the door and realized who she was. "You are real," he said to her. "I thought Jordan made you up." She laughed and immediately fit into my tiny living room, like she had always belonged there. She teased me about my messy bookshelf. I teased her about the fact that her grandmother texted her 3 times during dinner asking if she was alive. It felt easy. That was the part that scared me the most. Because easy meant I was starting to care. And caring meant I could get hurt. The first real test came Friday morning. Victoria called me into her office. "Close the door, Jordan." My stomach tightened. "Yes, Miss Chen." She looked at me for a long second, like she was deciding something. How is the transition going? Good. I am excited about the new projects, she nodded. And outside of work? There it was. I kept my face neutral. It is going well. She leaned back in her chair. Jordan, I need you to understand something. I will not treat you differently because of Sage, good or bad. If you mess up, I will call it out. If you do well, you will be rewarded. Your personal life does not change your professional expectations. I appreciate that. And if at any point this becomes a distraction, she continued calmly, I will expect you to handle it like an adult. I swallowed. I will. She studied me for another second. Then, surprisingly, she smiled. She seems happy. That caught me off guard. She does. Good. That was it. No threats. No warnings. Just that. When I left her office, I realized something. For the first time, I was not afraid of her. I respected her. But I was not afraid. That night, Sage and I walked along Lady Bird Lake. The city lights reflected on the water. It felt calm. Do you ever think about how insane this is? She asked. All the time. And you are still here. So are you. She stopped walking and looked at me. I almost backed out after the restaurant. When I saw that text, I thought this was just another situation my mom was controlling. I know. But then you showed up at the farmer's market. And you looked terrified but determined. And I realized something. What? You were choosing me. Not the promotion. Not my mom. Me. Her words hit harder than I expected. I am still choosing you, I said. She smiled softly. Good. Because I am choosing you too. It was simple. No big speech. No dramatic music. Just two people standing by the water deciding to take a risk. Over the next few weeks, people at the office started figuring it out. It is hard to hide when someone drops you off in front of the building in a beat-up Honda, and the security guard knows her last name. There were whispers. There were jokes. But nothing exploded. Victoria never made it weird. If anything, she became even more strict with me in meetings. Sage found that hilarious. She is overcorrecting, she said one night. She does not want anyone thinking she favors you. Let her overcorrect, I said. I can handle it. And I could. Because every night after a long day, I got to see Sage. We cooked dinner together. We argued about movies. We laughed about her grandmother's latest dramatic text. It was not perfect. Sometimes we fought about small things. Sometimes the pressure of her mom being my boss crept in. But we talked about it. We chose each other again and again. One evening about 2 months later, I was sitting at my desk finishing up a report when Victoria stopped by. Jordan. Yes, Miss Chen. She looked at me carefully. Sage told me you were taking her to Dallas this weekend to meet her grandmother. I felt my heart jump. Yes. Victoria nodded slowly. She likes you. I like her too. She gave me a long look. Then, very quietly, she said, Take care of her. I will. For once, she did not look like a CEO. She looked like a mom. That weekend, I stood in a kitchen in Dallas while Sage's grandmother offered me hot Cheetos and asked if I planned on marrying her granddaughter. I choked on my drink. Sage nearly fell off her chair laughing. And in that chaotic, loud, slightly ridiculous moment, I realized something. If you had told me 3 months ago that I would be dating my CEO's daughter, getting promoted, and bonding with a grandmother who uses heartburn as a strategy for attention, I would have laughed. But life does not ask for your permission before it changes. Sometimes the most insane thing that ever happens to you turns out to be the best thing. Yes, it is complicated. Yes, it is messy. And yes, my boss is also my girlfriend's mom. But every time Sage smiles at me, like she did that first night at Morello's, I know something for sure. I would sit through 100 awkward dinners, survive 1,000 scary text messages, and risk every uncomfortable moment again. Because she is worth it. And somehow, against all logic, this insane blind date turned into the most real thing in my life.